2. Number 1 is B. Number 2 is A. Number 3 is C. Number 4 is D. Number 5 is D. Number 6 is A. Number 7 is B. Number 8 is D. Number 9 is D. Number 10 is C. Everybody got 100, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Ah, that's not a good look.
I was so close.
And
So
yet,
far away.
so far away. Which one did you miss?
9.
What's
Nah,
number
it's a
9
tricky
say?
one.
It's a tricky
Did you
one.
pick B?
Horseshoes and hands.
So as you're going up,
Ah.
air's expanding in your VCE. So as you're going up and that air's expanding, you might have to release some so you don't go up like a ballistic missile and hurt yourself.
Yeah, I guess the faster you,
Yeah.
the more you go up, the faster you go up, so you gotta
Yeah.
slow down.
You gotta slow down. Because again, the air is expanding, that balloon on your back is getting bigger and it wants to rise. So we actually need to let some air out so we don't go poof and rocket ship out. Okay? Good. Sign and date the bottom of that one.
27.
I don't know. I know it's Wednesday. That's all
today.
I know.
7 days after your last quiz.
And I don't even know what the date of that was. So I had to write my day planner, Scout. So Scout.
Circular thinking.
All right.
Tell you something.
So in your books, if you guys will turn to the end of section 3, which would be kind of green colored papers, you have a book, and now you can write the answers in it. There's the answers to 1 and 2. Since you're just getting the book on 3.
Whoa. Is there 26 questions on this one? Is that right? Or am I on the wrong page or something?
Yep, there will be 26.
Whoa.
There's 26, so I gotta talk fast. Not really fast, but I can't tell a whole lot of stories. Really. I might.
What page?
What?
What page?
What page?
171.
171.
And 171.
171.
Do we need to go over anything special for Saturday before that? Or,
Swimsuit and towel.
I mean, like review anything or skills or whatever, or you'll just cover it
I
there?
will cover all that on Saturday.
Perfect.
So the way my Saturday is gonna rock is that
Colors
8
together.
o'clock I have a staff meeting. So that staff meeting ought to be over by 10. We have 4 rescue diver students in the pool at 10. So that's why you said, do we need to be there promptly at noon? If you're there a couple minutes after noon, it's okay, because you have the rest of my afternoon, so we'll be golden.
You gonna be riding solo?
No.
Oh, okay. I just thought that might be a
I'm
little
able to.
overwhelming.
Nah, you guys are all absolutely gentlemen. It's wonderful. So, no, my husband Steve will be there. There'll be at least one. Well, the whole staff will be there at 8 o'clock. So if I ask them to hang out, because they'll like to do the rescue diver stuff. So I know you'll have plenty of staff to help out. I may not even be in the pool then. Then you just have my husband Steve and probably Dan and maybe Adam in the pool. All right. Number 1, one way to avoid disorientation while descending and ascending.
Hey, see.
Close your eyes.
Yeah. So you don't see anything. It doesn't matter.
Have you ever had an ear infection
Yes.
where your inner ear gets all wonky
Yeah.
and you get vertigo? Okay,
Yeah.
that can happen underwater. And you get disoriented and the world kind of spins. So follow a reference. You close your eyes, you want to yak. It's bad. So follow a reference, see. So, and one place you can definitely get disoriented would be mid-water. If you're out in the middle of blue and you don't see the bottom and you're mid-water, so you don't really see the top, you're not close to land, it's just blue all around you, you can get disoriented. Well, bubbles are dumb. They don't know any better, they just go up. So if you exhale, bubbles go up. Oh, I know where up is.
You can seriously be like upside down and not know it.
If you get disoriented, it could happen. It
Correct.
doesn't happen often, but it could, theoretically. All right, number 2. My buddy and I are diving from a boat and there's a mild current. In most circumstances, I would A. swim into the current the first part of the dive. Reason for that is I've got all of my energy at the beginning of the dive. I'm like, woohoo! I'm going diving. So you swim into the current in the beginning of the dive, and then as you turn around to come back, you let the current do the work and push you back.
So you can rest.
Swimming into the current means you're
It's
The
going
current's
towards
coming
you.
this way,
Upstream.
so I'm gonna swim against it.
against it. Okay.
Against it, yes, we're gonna,
Upstream.
the beginning of, upstream, well, yes,
Doing
all of the
salmon
above.
dive.
Yeah.
So that way,
A little
when I'm
swim.
coming back to the boat, the current's doing all the work and when I'm tired.
Is there always some current or not always?
In the pools.
No, not always, but like when we dive in Cozumel, there's always a current. It just depends on how stiff that current is. But there's always a gentle current, so we usually will start our dive against the current and then have it bring us back. Lake Pleasant, you can feel a little bit of a current. If you were to just get neutrally buoyant, you'd move a little bit. You would. It's a moving body of water. It is. All right. Number 3, my buddy and I get disoriented while boat diving. There's a mild current and we surface away from the boat. We should swim across the current to reach the trail line reach the trail line, become buoyant, or signal the boat to pick us up, which is the second part. If I'm unable to reach the boat, if I'm too tired, I'm gonna inflate our BCD and wait for the boat. Okay, that's distress or help.
So by swimming across the current's going that way and we're going
Cross current.
Adjacent.
So we're going
Cross.
perpendicular.
That's like the,
perpendicular.
like in
that's
the
what I said.
ocean.
Like when there's a,
Yeah.
Right,
when there's a
so the
rip tide.
current's coming
Yeah.
this way,
Okay.
all right?
Right.
So I'm gonna swim across the current to get
Okay.
out of it, and I'm gonna grab the trail line. Usually when there's a current
Mhm.
on a boat, and we're coming to the back of the boat at the end of the dive,
Comes out.
they've thrown a trail line out, which is a piece of rope with a big ball on the end of it. So you grab that rope, and then you can hand over hand yourself into the boat.
Oh, and just let it take you on. Take it on the map.
Not so much. Cool idea, but no. All right, so number 3 is B. Number 4, my buddy and I remain neutrally buoyant and stay above the bottom enough to avoid contact. We do this because bottom contact, do you think it may injure or kill fragile aquatic life?
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh. Do you think it may tend to disturb the bottom and reduce our visibility?
Yeah.
Depending on what the bottom's made of? Uh-huh. And number 3, increases the risk of accidental cuts, scrapes, and stings. Uh-huh. It's all 3 of them. What the bottom's made of can definitely change your visibility. If it's a sandy bottom and you get too close, you're gonna just be in a dust storm. If it's a rocky bottom, you're probably gonna have better viz.
But
Okay.
cut up feet though. You step on them.
Right, so that way you're not gonna step on them, you're gonna stay above them. Number 5, when assessing conditions, if there's anything that causes me significant anxiety or concern, if I can't address it, I should not dive. Ultimately, I'm responsible for my own safety, so only I can make the final decision to dive. True or false?
Oh, that's a die.
Dive.
See, I thought that's a die too.
No, dive.
Okay.
Don't die.
Don't die. But if there's something to, no, those are yours to keep. I printed them out for you.
Oh, ultimately, if my wife says I shouldn't dive, I would.
Okay, and then that's a happy wife is a
And your
happy
buddy's,
life.
your buddy's
I tell my husband that all the time. 30 years later, we're still together, so hallelujah. All right,
You did something right.
numbers, so that is true. If something's got you stressed out and you're not sure what it is, you know, in your gut, you're like, I don't know, or maybe you don't feel good, or maybe you're stressed out about the dive, maybe you're gonna do some swim throughs or something like that, or a deeper dive, and you're like, oh, I'm not sure about that. Don't do it, because at the end of the day, it's your call whether you do that dive or not. It's okay, there'll be other dives, okay? Don't put yourself at risk and your buddies at risk if you're stressed out and you may have a problem underwater. Because you don't only affect yourself, you affect the other people you dive with. All right? So number 7, risks of diving beyond my training and experience limits include that, all 3 of them. In some forms of diving, the hazards are not obvious. It can cause me to have a false sense of security. I got this, and maybe you don't. And then number C is anxiety from doing so can distract me from noticing other problems. So that kind of ties into the last question, is if something's stressing you out, it might stress you out to the point that you get some perceptual narrowing, so you don't notice other problems that you might be having. Not a good idea.
I'll let you forget about your oxygen. You're like, oh no.
It's called tunnel vision. I like perceptual narrowing, sounded like way smarter. I was trying to impress you there, Jack. It didn't work. All right. Number 8, while planning a shore dive, my buddy says it'll be no problem diving into high surf that I've never been trained in nor have any experience with. Looking at the surf, I don't think I'm prepared to dive in it. My best response would be, C. C. Oh, heck no.
No.
Not doing it. Thank you very much. Let's go over here
I
and
don't
dive in a
wanna
little
dive.
safer place. A little less, okay?
I'd rather dive than
There you go. So C.
We skipped number 6, I think.
Huh?
We skipped number 6.
No.
Did I skip number 6?
Yeah, it's true.
I did. Thank you very much for bringing that to my attention.
I wondered.
When planning a dive, number 6, guys, when planning a dive in an environment that's new to me, it's recommended that I get a local orientation from an experienced diver or professional who knows the procedures, hazards, points of interest, and other factors unique to the environment. What do you think? If you went somewhere new that you'd never been, yeah, it'd be a good idea to get either another diver that lives there to tell you about it, or a dive master, something like that, to tell you the cool stuff that you might see and where it is. Things like frogfish or seahorses, things like that, they don't move around a lot. So divers that dive the same sites will know where those critters live, and they'll be able to show you or tell you where to go to see them. Okay? Okay. Any other ones that I forgot there? Anybody? Are we on number 9 now?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes? Cool. To prevent and or handle injuries caused by aquatic life, should I generally touch the animals I want to, but only the ones I'm familiar with?
If it's an eel, I don't think you'd want to touch it.
No,
Even if
probably
you're familiar
not.
with it.
Do you go out into the forest and go, oh, a bear, hey bear, I want to pet you.
You do say hey bear, but not towards it.
Yeah, you go, hey bear, run the other way.
Bye.
Right, but you don't run up to it
Bye.
and give it a big, it's not a teddy bear, right? It's a
Bye.
wild animal. So we probably are not gonna do that. B, watch where I put my feet, hands, and knees. Yeah, that would be a good idea. Watch where you're putting your feet, hands, and knees. So definitely B. Number C,
Check.
check. Wear an exposure suit, you bet. What if you were to bump up against something? Well, you want some protection, right? D, treat all organisms with respect. Yeah,
Good question.
quick answer.
When you talk about like bumping into something, if you were to like tear your wetsuit
Yeah.
and you were deep, how
Yeah.
much would that affect like
Not at all.
your buoyancy? It's
Not
not
at all.
gonna have like an instant effect.
Not at
You
all.
feel lightheaded.
Not at all.
Okay. Just
The only thing it
curious.
would do then was leave your skin exposed if you bumped up against something else. But it's not gonna
Okay.
change your buoyancy at all,
It looks
Okay.
cool.
okay? It just might stress you out a little bit, especially if it was a rental, you'd be all like, whoa. I've never.
Yeah, I don't care about
And
my
I've
arm.
bumped into a lot of stuff, because I've had students bump into me, and I've bumped into maybe rocks or whatever behind me,
And then you just
and I've never ripped a wetsuit.
Oh, okay. Okay.
They're pretty doggone